Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Planet Coaster and welcome to Let's Build Pirate Valley Part 5. Already 5 parts into this Let's Build series. It's going much better and it's turning out to be much more regular than most of my other series. Let's be completely honest. Today we're building a clock tower and a church with a little sort of graveyard beside it. The clock tower is going in the space in the town square that wasn't actually filled in the previous episode. You can see where it is. I mean, it's on screen. It's a video. Use your eyes. Or smell-o-vision, if that's been invented in the future and you're watching this many years from now. What does it smell like? There's a question. If we had Oh, I've started rambling already. It didn't take me a minute, but I've started rambling already. I think this is a new record, but I'm rolling with it. It's fine. I'm really late recording this commentary, so I'm going with it. Right. So, the year is 2035 and they've invented smell-o-vision. What would this smell like? Probably, I'm thinking probably like lots of sweets and candy and drinks and possibly a mix of vomit because it's a theme park and my coaster's terrible. Fair enough. Anyway, back to the point of the video. We're building this clock tower here, which actually I quite like. It looks a little bit like a castle tower of some sort. It does have a bell in the top of it eventually, and I mean generally I just like it. This is something I wanted to put in this corner. In the previous Let's Build episode, I just didn't really get around to it because we were coming up on like 3 hours and I decided, you know what, it's probably good to just leave it there, and so we did. But, you know, here we are now building the thing that I wanted, and, I mean, it's good. I will say, it's interesting looking at my building style between these episodes and seeing, like, it does vary. Like, the style of this is very different to the other things. This looks much older and much more I don't know if elegant is the word. It looks kind of like something from a palace, maybe? I think the combination of wood and the very white stone makes it look very, I don't know, just very fancy, I guess. I don't know what the word is. I'm looking for a word and I just can't work it out. I don't know what the word is, but there's a word there. And I might work it out before the end of the video. I doubt it, but, you know, there's always a chance. Anyway, long cut in the video there. Apparently, I've gone with longer fades to black this time than the shorter ones. I don't know why. Probably my camera going really weird during the building phase. And by the way, I built this, again, much like the last episode, I built this live on Twitch, over on twitch.tv/ConflictNerdTV. I'll be doing that with all of the Pirate Valley Let's Builds, and I'm thinking of doing it with some other Let's Builds as well, but no promises there. Definitely all of the Pirate Valley ones when possible. I mean, if my internet's not working, then I'm just gonna not stream it and just build it and put it up as a video, but assuming everything works, I'll be doing that. If you want to head over to my Twitch, you can follow it, or if you want to follow me on Twitter, I will just tweet when I'm going live. Or don't do either of that and just sit on the channel and wait for me to post the I'm currently live video. Also, speaking of Twitch, and that was actually really relevant, because the arches in the windows of this place were actually suggested by someone in Twitch chat, so props to that guy. I've completely forgotten your name because I'm a horrible human being. Anyway, coming up to another really long cut in the video, because apparently I love long fades to black, and we're over on the other side of the main street. If you look up the main street towards the entrance to the park, the star wheel is on the left, this is way off to the right, and this is the start of the church. And this next sentence or two only applies to people that watch the stream. But if you did see the stream, the church I built there looks different to the church that I built here. And that's because I actually sat down after the stream and decided that I didn't like the design I went for and completely got rid of it and rebuilt it. So, from here on, I didn't stream this. Hey, I'm just not talking about builds at all today. I really am not talking about builds. I should just go to Google and get a flag fact to make up for it. I might do that. Let me see. Flag facts. Let's see. Let's see what we got. I'll do that in a second. Okay, we got the Telegraph website. Okay, these are not interesting. Oh, they've got the thing about the Union Jack / flag. Alright. I'm okay with that. I'm really okay with that. And here's a fact. The flags of Chad and Romania are identical. Blue, red, and yellow vertical stripes. There you go. And apparently Ireland and someplace I can't pronounce also have identical flags in color, but the order of the stripes is reversed. Okay. Turn an Indonesian flag upside down, it becomes the Polish flag. The Netherlands and Luxembourg both have the same order of red, white, and blue horizontal stripes, but the Dutch blue is darker. Fun fact, the Italian flag is often confused for the Irish flag, because the Italian flag is green, white, and red, whereas the Irish flag is green, white, and orange. And they are often confused. That's not on here. That was, I just knew that, because there was an idiot politician over here was complaining about the Irish flag being flown in a school. It wasn't. It was an Italian flag being flown in a geography classroom. That's Northern Irish politicians for you, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy that. You may laugh, because I certainly did. Anyway, back to the video once again. Currently building a little bit of the inside of the church. Putting up this sort of upper balcony thing. And I will say, I love how this church turned out. I love the land around it. I love the landscaping. I love the building. I just really, really enjoy the detailing, just all parts of it. I'm really glad I did decide to rebuild it, because it just looks better. I really think it just looks that bit better than what I had. And it didn't help that while I was building this on the stream, I was quite tired and wasn't feeling all that great. So it was a good thing to sit down and redesign it when I had sort of, I felt a bit better, wasn't feeling tired and worn out, because, that happens. I stream late at night sometimes, and that was one of the cases. I'll probably try and make the streams a little bit earlier, but, it's just one of those things. I will also say about the interior of this church, I don't do a hell of a lot with it. I do put a lot of lights on the inside. I put up some signs. I do make a really nice altar and put some pews in there. I love how that looks, by the way. But, yeah, the interior of the church isn't really, there's not that much to it. I may try and get a ride in the space, or a ride or two in the space between the church and the town. I also, in the next episode, need to, fix the backs of the buildings that you can see sort of in the background there, because they look terrible right now. But I want to get a ride or two in between the church and the town, and sort of build around that with another section of town, because I do end up putting some toilets inside the church. I use the toilets that match the stone brick that we're using, because to me they kind of look like they'd be sort of places that you can go into, like the basement of the church, or you can go into like a back space in the church. They don't really look like toilets given the context of where they are. And I did that just so that at some point we will see people walking in and out of this. If I really wanted an easy way to get them walking in and out of it, I could have just done some shops. But I wanted to put those in there because they looked better. And eventually we'll see people walking in and out of it. What I will also say, and this is something that, it annoys me about Planet Coaster, and I hate saying that because, it's like the only thing that annoys me. There are no slanted wall pieces that are made out of that same brick material that the majority of the church is built out of. That's why I've used wood. And it annoys me so much. It really does. And my phone is going crazy. I think my mother's messaging me like crazy on Facebook. It's fine. I'll deal with it in a minute. But yeah, there's no slanted wall pieces that match that stone, and it's so annoying because it would look so much better if there were. But I guess we just sort of work with what we have. And I will also say, I keep saying I will say, that's kind of the point. I'm doing a commentary. Wouldn't be much of a commentary if I sat here and didn't say anything, would it? It's kind of defeating the purpose. It's like doing a video where it's just a black screen. I could sit here and do no video and describe to you what's going on screen, or I could just make it easier and show you it and talk about it. Let's do the thing that's the point here. But yes, When I replaced the sort of half-wall weird little thing, what do you call those? The things that go around the top, almost crenellations. They're almost crenellations, they're not quite crenellations. But they would sort of go around the top of a castle wall. They were on the roof for a while there. I replaced them with those strips of stone. I think it looks so much better. And I will also say, I think adding all this seaweed to the outside of the church, I know it's seaweed, but it looks to me like and it makes it look like an old building. I really think it helped. I really do. I think it made it look so much better. And then I go about and start adding in all of these wooden posts to the tower on the building, which, again, I think just makes it look so much better. It gives it more depth. It gets rid of a lot of the just completely boring flat surfaces that we had, and just makes it pop, you know? Makes it look like it's a structure that's been designed, that's actually held up, has support, and has all these different things going on. And I'm just really, really happy with how this ends up looking. We haven't even got the landscaping done yet, and I'm going on about how happy I am with this. And I also realize I'm looking at the timeline of this in Adobe. By the way, if anyone's ever curious, I edit using Adobe Premiere, and I record this commentary whilst watching the video back in Adobe Premiere. I'm looking at my timeline, and I haven't actually added in the cinematic bits yet to my timeline. So the end of this video is going to be fun, because I'm going to have to guess what's on screen. So, good. That'll be fantastic. I mean, I could just stop the commentary here, add them in, and then resume the commentary, and you would never know. Like, if I didn't tell you that there was a cut in the comment, you'd never know. Because it happens more frequently than I care to admit in these kind of things. I think. I don't actually know if I have ever, like, stopped a commentary midway through on a Let's Build in Planet Coaster. I don't think I've done that yet. I don't think I've resumed one. I really don't. We'll see. I mean, we won't. I'm not going to go back and tell you, because I don't want to, you know, pause this now and go and do that, because then there would be a gap in the commentary. It's fine. Let's not worry about it. What are we doing at the moment? Well, we're adding some lights to the outside of the building. And I want to mention, I use those little, sort of domed window things. They're not quite windows. They don't have glass. They have, like, metal bars in them. I use those all about the place on a lot of the wood pillars, and I love how that looks. I also love this altar. I'm so pleased with how that altar looks. And a bunch of pews going in there. I say pews, I mean, in a way, pews are benches. I just think, is there like a distinction between a pew and a bench? There's a question. I feel like this is something I've Googled too many things in this episode already. I just wonder, like, is there a distinction between pew and bench? Or does a bench become a pew when it's in a church? I feel like there's probably a distinction. Like, is a pew a bench that's been blessed? Because if that's the case, I want to go to a ceremony where there's a bunch of benches like are lined. It's like, okay, I went to a very religious school, by the way. I just want to preface what I'm about to say. I have a lot of memories of like my first communion, which was interesting because I can't remember. I think I wore this stupid suit thing. And then like confirmation as well. I remember these things from years ago. And I'm just remembering like me in line and all these like small children in line. Like I was a small child as well. I wasn't like this size and, you know, lining up with a bunch of kids for it. But it was just a bunch of kids lined up in the middle of the church, parents all around and all that stuff. I'm now picturing like just a bunch of benches lined up to go and get blessed to become a pew. Then there's like the parents of the benches. There's a bunch of trees are sat on either side. And just like weeping sap. That's what that's. There's an image. Yeah, that's an image. You know, sometimes I wonder if I really should just put music in these videos and just not talk. Sometimes I really wonder that. Anyway, we're finally done with the interior and exterior of the church. And now we're just getting to the not the exterior completely, but we're getting to sort of the walkway space. We're getting some paths in there. We're going to be getting the cemetery space in there in a second. And I think it looks good. I really do. I love what I did with the rocks as well. I do some more work with rocks in just a second. I actually have like a slanted section of walkway, of path, and I basically build up rocks underneath it to make it look like it's not just floating there. Which is something I'm probably gonna do more of. I reckon I should definitely do more of it, because it actually looks kind of cool. It looks like the land has actually been built up around the path, or built up for the path, rather than the path, you know, following the land. Which I think if I can mix that in with, like if I can have all through the park sections of path that are raised up, because of just the natural landscape, and sections that have the land sort of coming up to them, I think that could be a really interesting mix of things, because it makes it look like, you know, we've taken into account the shape of the land, but we also needed a slope here, so we built some rocks under it. I don't know. I reckon that's something I should toy around with a little bit more, though. Also, they're just adding in the big gold Planet Coaster logo to the middle of the church, adding some lights to it as well. I do really enjoy how that looked in there, and I think we're about, yeah, we are getting on with the little graveyard here. I wasn't actually sure what way to do this. I did eventually settle on just sort of 2 graves there, using these as the really fancy headstones. And, I used some plants to mark it out. Well, those are technically trees. And then I used the milkshakes sign to actually sort of border the graves. And I love that. I love how that looks. I don't know. It's something I'm quite happy with. I also used the top of the Chief Beef sign, the small one, to do the bottom of the graves. And I like it. I really do. I actually really, really enjoy how that looks. And then it's just a bunch of landscaping, bunch of trees and all that stuff. And, I mean, that's really it. I think all I do is add in a couple of rocks, add in a bunch of plants, a couple of trees, a couple of bushes, and I really don't remember what the rest of it is. I'm pretty sure it's just foliage. So there you go. That's pretty much that. We're about to go to the cinematics. I don't know what they are. In fact, you know what? They're not even cinematics. These are just screenshots because there was no one walking about here, so there was no point recording the footage. We didn't need moving parts because nothing was moving, basically. So yeah, into the screenshots, you can just see what the thing looks like from a distance. You can see what it looks like up close. I don't know what's on screen. I'm not looking at it right now. So, yeah. If you have any ideas for additions to Pirate Valley, do feel free to leave them in the comments below. As always, these are also live streamed in real time over on Twitch, as I've mentioned before. But with that in mind, thank you kind of for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.